Hello, everybody. Um, the life parable I am about to share is very much about lesson 79. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. When I was going through this particular problem, I kept repeating to myself, I am not upset for the reasons I think, which is lesson number 5. While asking the Holy Spirit to help me to see this differently. I did this constantly because what we deny, we keep it. Um, if I deny to recognize what shadows I am projecting by blaming someone or justifying myself, I will keep this loop going on and on and on with different faces, periods of time, and situations. Uh, so here's how the story goes. We were entering a 1 month quarantine lockdown because of the coronavirus, after already enduring 2 weeks of isolation. Because I had barely worked on the previous month, I had very little to collect from clients. So I spoke to the last client I had income to collect. She assured me with the Spanish expression ahorita to provide me her new credit card number. I explained it was important for me to process the amount before the end of the following day to avoid being late for my rent payment. So because the credit card payments take 24 hours to enter my account. So I explained all this to her. I understand that ahorita may not always mean the translation to right now or shortly in English. But anyway, since I was very clear and honest, I trust she would soon send me the credit card information. Well, guess what? Nothing happened that day, and my messages were simply ignored. So the next day, I called early in the morning to remind her I had to process the payment before midnight. She was very cheerful on the phone and assured me she would do it shortly. I waited a couple of hours. Later, after many texts and phone calls unanswered, she sends me the number. The detail, it was early in the evening already. So it's okay. I forgot my frustrations, but forgetting is not forgiving. And well, I processed the credit card. Surprise, surprise, it got declined. I contacted her by text with no response. I called with no answer. So I waited a little bit, and since it was evening already, I texted her again, like to solve this before midnight. So I called, and she had turned the phone off. So you can imagine, right? My desperation, hopelessness, and irritation, to mention a few of my feelings. so, um, so the reason why I am telling you details instead of just saying I had an upset with a friend and applied this lesson is to give you a practical context of applying the lesson and to explain paragraph number 6, which says, all this complexity is but a desperate attempt not to recognize the problem. In other words, yes, I have all my reasons to be right, but If I keep my anger, despair, victimhood, and the list of judgments regarding her behavior, I am keeping myself from being healed. It is never the situation that is disturbing us. It is whatever's underneath. We have to loosen our personal interpretation. It is not about accepting the situation, but about clearing out beliefs, covering up our divine innocence, our divine love. So I prayed and I prayed to see things differently. Believe me. So I have to say, it did not come easy. And not without my ego expressing a few words of disagreement towards her. But the next day, I could see different angles of my problems. So first, I realized my fears. I realized part of me knew this payment because of the coronavirus situation could be my last paycheck and God knows how long. The, this was a period of great um, uncertainties, of insecurities, and many forms of fear. So, second, um, I was remembering the past, like this running after her to receive a payment had happened many times before. So I had probably just dusted off the forgiveness process. So since since now this was like a delicate, unique, and very restricting situation, my finances were up through here, so I felt almost forced to question, the problem more deeply to heal my mind. So I stopped the blaming and justifying my distress. I trusted God to provide for me. I trust and welcome new things in my life. I pray for. I pray on many things I was concerned about, um, and above anything, I kept asking to see that situation differently. You know. So after a couple of days, I was able to understand my fears and my past memories. I allowed the present moment just to be. I went from a place of judgment to a place of feeling gratitude, to heal the fear and the preconceptions that were inside of me and projected out as somebody else's fault. Uh, so the very beginning was not easy, I'll tell you the truth. But I knew I had to stop biting the bait of the ego. I aligned with, with the truth and with the light that I am and that we all are. And I got back to my function. That's the most important, because our function is to forgive, to recognize I am safe as God created me, to remember all of this is to bring sanity to the mind, is to be in pure present moment, is to experience the holy instant. Um, Therefore, we always need to remember to choose to be happy instead of right. Well, I hope this helps to put some context into the lesson 5 and 79 uh, I had in my mind when I was going through this big turmoil. So if you have anything to share or ask, or if you want to join a virtual study group, please do not be shy. Contact me at Bootcamp.in.Miracles at gmail.com. Follow my Bootcamp.in.Miracles Instagram, or you can just subscribe or write a comment below. Okay? Thank you for listening, and I'll see you all next time.